Hello, I'm PlusNomad, and I'm going to be casting the Art of Winter Castle Cup group stage match between Stigz, aka the Godfather, vs Buniu. This is game 1. I saw the results of these games. I thought it'd be very interesting based on the results. And I decided I would check them out and cast and see where each player really went with their builds. And Stigz personally asked if we could see if there's anything you could really improve, so I'm going to be focusing on that a little bit. So, as you know with this tournament, it's on Scandinavia, so we're looking for Scandinavia civs, which are generally civs are good on hybrid maps. Civs with good wood bonuses for going water early, for example, or just Mongols mainly for the hunt. We see Buniu with the Japanese. Japanese is a very good civ. For this, he picked it against me, I believe, in the first game we played, and he played it against Monty. And he plays it pretty well. Japanese are really good water civ because they save a lot of wood early on before they build the dock, for example in the lumber camp. And they have the faster working fishing ships. So they have some water bonuses and some wood to help them get the fish out early. And those are two really important things for this map. Unless you're Mongols, because obviously you have 3 boars and all the deer. So Japanese is a good pick. Over here we have Stigz with the Mayans. Mine's traditionally a good open map civ. Scandinavia is actually a little bit more closed than always. Usually, if you take a look at the woodlines around, it's a very almost close-like situation. I could say plumes here being fairly reasonable, but mines are just not a well-known civ for just playing on hybrid maps. They don't have any real advantage for taking the water. Having, longer-lasting hunt is quite nice. Longer-lasting all resources, obviously applying to hunt. But it's not too significant, especially when you consider that water booming is the main thing. Unless you're Mongols and really have that huge bonus, there is no reason to not pick a water civ. Well, a civ that's good at water. Italians could be okay, but civs like Persians, Malians, Japanese, they could be really strong as well. Indians can also be decent. Lithuanians also have some bonuses for water booming. There's some crazy builds I've been practicing with them recently. Let's take a look. We see Godfather is actually slightly behind in villager count. Of his mines, he will be on the same amount now with Loom ahead. We do not have Loom for Buniu. So the build here is a little bit odd. I might as well use this as an excuse to talk about water builds. If let's just say you don't have any particular eco bonus for setting up fish early, which generally happens with, for example, Mongols. You do 6 on sheep, 5 on wood. One of those will build the house, but you can build the house whenever. Then, if you don't have a bonus, your next villager after the 5 on wood will go and take the boar, and the villager after that will go and build the dock. If you do have a bonus, for example, with extra wood, like Persians, they start with extra wood, Japanese, they save 50 wood on the lumber camp. You do 6 sheep, 5 wood, and then you build the dock, and then you get the boar, so you just switch those 2 villagers around. Again, mines, I'm not so sure about it. It has a slight bonus where you don't have to click all on your villager taking shore fish, even if you do, it's not a big hassle. Their scout can't harass you because you already have Loom. Both these players spawn quite far behind. Stigz, he has a bit of a wider wall off, I think. Right here, this is a lot easier for Buniu to get a hold of. Not so sure what we're going to see. 6 on wood, that's generally good. And we have 6 on here, friendly for Godfather. He is idling his dock a little bit. He can afford to make the fishing ship. But I think he's losing quite a bit of food here. Again, it's not too key, but that's probably the difference between picking up a villager earlier. Also, this is not walled. I'm not so sure what's happening here. You generally want 6 on wood. Like, after you build your dock, you want to add a 6 on the wood, and that could generally be you could add a couple or more. If I'm doing scouts, for example, I like to add a second lumber camp and have maybe like 10, even 12 villagers on wood after I click up. Godfather looks like he wanted to click up, but he just decided to idle his TC instead. Interesting decision. But I think being behind in the villagers is gonna cost him a little bit. Looks like Buniu here is not ready to click up. He's idling his TC a bit. He does have 2 fishing ships. How are we comparing them? We have 2 against, I think we have more for Stigz. Yes, Stigz has more. It actually looks like Stigz is having a little bit easier of a time here with managing his economy. These walls are a little bit incomplete, and Stigz has quite smartly not really tried walling. He added in, house just roughly in a good position. But I'm not so sure how I would go out of my way to be Buniu to build my houses in this kind of positioning. The thing is, you don't want to wall too early because it's just going to cost you, but if you are going to wall early, then full wall early. If you're not going to full wall, then you just kind of start walling early, cost your economy quite a bit, and that gives you some problems. Looking at this population, I don't really know what we're going to see here. The barracks came out man at arms time and he did go man at arms against me. And I ended up actually screwing myself because I had a mining camp right on top of where I wanted to quick wall. Not mining camp, sorry, a dead deer on top of my mining camp. Oh, Stigz knows where this TC is already, but he's just knowing where it is the second time. Looking over Buniu, he has a very good indication at least where the golds are. He knows where the dock is. He knows where some of the extra deer are. Maybe he assumes that's where the main deer are. I've made that mistake a few times. Japanese also have an easy time milling the deer, but again, I like to push them depending. If I'm doing some kind of really fast up, then I would like to generally not push them. I would just mill them later on as another building. I'm going to see man at arms against kind of unwalled base. So we don't see stone. We do not see Godfather taking another boar. In fact, he's even given up taking the sheep. He went to take some deer, but we have very few villagers actually on food here. Including the 3 fishing ships, he actually just has enough to run his TC. When he starts getting the feudal upgrades, then his food's going to look quite low and it's not going to be going up anytime soon. Buniu harassing a little bit here. His militia should come in here and cause quite a bit of damage unless Stigz decides to put a gate right across there. I think it's unlikely he's doing that. He sees the skeleton. I think the skeleton is going to be stopping him. Straight for 1 range. That's an interesting move. I'm not so sure on the build. I think non-water civs going archers. Oh, the snowman man-arms spot. I forgot I had that. Japanese man-arms here, they're going to be ripping through the villagers, attacking faster. It's a very good civ, very versatile. Man-arms is generally not something I would find to be too great here. It tends to be faster for people to just go scouts and get an edge over you quite early. But Japanese, they're definitely viable in a lot of different ways. I don't really see what Stigz can do here. He's been taking off gold obviously and he doesn't have the wood to make... the gold to make more archers. Oh, how long was that there? Was I blind? But yeah, not walling this off, not taking the gold. It's very, very risky all around. Population wise, we have Stigz with 2 ahead. And I think that's in large because Buniu has been idling a bit in the Dark Age. And obviously the Loomis Mayans you get in the same time. Basically, free time-wise. And in the gold mining camp here, when this one's already here and quite safe, I'm not so sure about the thinking process behind that. He does have decent scouting of his own base here, so he would know that they were there. I'm not so sure how Stigz can get his way out of this, because obviously he just doesn't really have much on food. He does have the ability to take a lot of food, obviously as the boar, but he needs to take maybe 6 villagers off of wood and just go lure in that boar to get under TC or something. Throw in some more fishing ships. This is a really messy sort of land feudal play, and it feels like neither player is taking massive advantage of water right now. And I still feel like both players could be adding some more fishing ships. Stigz for sure, Buniu as well. This is about the time I'd be looking to be up as either civ. Around 15 minutes, like you want to be hitting Castle Age. 19 minutes is quite late for this kind of thing unless you're doing some really all-in, like crazy scouts, towers, archers, just everything feudal age. But taking water, you shouldn't have much trouble getting up. After clicking up, that's usually when you would like to dock the other person's pond. On your own, you can make a fire ship or a galley. If you suspect that your enemy has a pond on the same, dock in the same pond, you would make a fire ship. If you suspect they don't but might make one, you make a galley, and that way you patrol it, for example, this length here, anywhere they might build a dock on that pond, and you'll be able to snipe the villager trying to build it. You will, it works better in the fire galley that way. So base that one on your suspicions. Looks like Godfather's walling this off. He's moved some villagers to food, or at least he's been making new villagers. A little bit heavy on wood, no second dock. He's found this villager. No, she's still taking shore fish. But I suspect you might want to make a second dock on this pond for fishing. Usually quite far away because the spawns can be a bit jank. And Buniu may even consider docking this pond. This is it's a wall-off. It's a very unique wall-off. Let's see how that one plays out in the longer run. So if Japanese going to get the castle, he's looking at his economy. He actually does not have much on food at all. He's obviously consumed his deer. Those went outside, and obviously he won't send villagers outside to the deer, so he's just relying on fishing. But he said this before in Discord, he doesn't make enough fish by his own opinion, and I do tend to agree with him. If there's an area he can work on, that's definitely one he should be looking into. Buniu has a lot of army here. It's skirmishers, but Stigz is not actually... He's not clicked up yet. Let's just open up this menu here so we can see that. I think this is a really difficult position for Stigz. If he's not going to go for like Plumes Mangonel, he's going to have to do something crazy aggressive like Crossbow Mangonel. I don't think Eagles will work. But I think he needs to 1 TC push this. Buniu's already quite far ahead though, he could easily add some TCs here. A lot on stone, he's planning to add a castle. Interesting. I don't really understand this play if I'm honest. It's a bit beyond me, maybe it's too high level. I suppose maybe he just wants to try and get some more food, which is going to cost him a lot of wood. He doesn't have too much wood right now. And a couple of TCs should be able to help him out there. You need to go really heavy on wood in this map in the feudal age if you want to have the castle age ships, which is going to be some more fishing ships, more docks landing your opponent's pond. Generally you don't land their pond in feudal age. Costs quite a lot of resources, and generally, you know, it might cost you upping close to their time. You should be all upping quite fast. Stigz is going for the boar finally, after building quite a lot of farms. What is he still on fishing ships? Still 5. Perhaps Stigz will want to dock this pond. It'd be quite devastating to Buniu to have a fire ship amongst his food economy right now. He only has like 6 villagers on food for 2 TCs. And he needs to get Bodkin still, I believe. Yeah, still needs to get Bodkin. 1 armor upgrade wouldn't go amiss. Food here is really crucial for Buniu. 3 TC placements are a little bit jank. Not gonna lie, probably a little bit close to the barracks part of the wall. Maybe here would have been a little bit stronger. You secure quite a large portion of wood line as well. Whereas this is just, you know, TC seems a bit far from the wood line. It's not touching the gold created by the barracks. And this one's just completely stuck in by the seed workshop. I'm not so sure how I feel about these TC placements. Buniu is raiding Stigz economy. Stigz is 35% castle age. He does have archers. He does not have the armor, but he can easily afford it. He actually has a lot of villagers of food now. I think he can clean this up if he gets castle age, gets crossbow out, and Bodkin. Market to balance the economy. That's fair. Oh, I thought Buniu already built the market. Here? Did he cancel it and then... This fish is actually getting quite far. These archers here are actually going to be able to stop them from taking this fish. Buniu's going to need to send them across here, and then... If Stigz gets ballistics, then that's a big problem for the fishing ships. Stigz can't really pay much attention to that though, because obviously he has to take care of what's in his base. Right now he's using a couple of eagles to try and clean up some of the skirmishers. I think that's fine. Only one feudal armor upgrade even against skirmishers is not going to help too well. But he has the numbers here, and the villagers are also going to be helping out against the skirms. And there we have a decent cleanup, due to mass numbers, despite the take a disadvantage. Buniu cleaning this up though, which allows him to fish more properly. And let's hope we see a secondary dock from either of these players. PlusNomad kicks in. Bodkin can be thrown in soon. And we have a castle from Buniu. This can quite easily be denied if Godfather spots it, but he doesn't. One tile will fog away. He spots it now. He can deny this. But he needs the crossbows there. And the crossbows aren't on the move. Oh man, I should TC out there. Oh man, I bet you Stigz just looked back in his base, he noticed he had all these crossbows sitting right there and is not feeling so good right now. Looking at economy numbers, we're actually seeing a small lead for Stigz. You gotta remember, Buniu did not actually have that much food economy, still kind of doesn't run his TCs, and now he has eagles and crossbows in his economy. Oh no. This is really good for Stigz. He has a castle in his face and he just decides, you know what, counter raid. He can defend this at home, siege workshop if he gets one. He definitely has the wood for it. He's been building a TC over here to secure some more wood. Not that. A bit confusing, he's still going for the full eagles back here. But he definitely has this lead out here. He could definitely raid Buniu's economy quite well, as he already has done. And just defend here with some mangonels. A castle's Japanese isn't going to do much. Honestly, it's the unique units you're worried about. Turks with the Janissary, Conks with the Spanish. Fairly sure I got that the wrong way around, but yeah. Remind me to remove this texture mod, this is disgusting. 3 TCs from either player, we're still 1 dock each. I'm kind of surprised that Stigz is here and he doesn't dock this. He knows about the enemy sheep on the enemy ships on this spawn. Both players did a little bit of raiding to each other. Godfather lost some villagers, but obviously Buniu lost, you know, maybe like 10 or 12. Which can easily be more. Seeing a sneak villager over here from Buniu, I don't know if this is deliberate or not, but it's getting sniped anyway. Lots of idle farmers here. It looks like Stigz just sort of didn't pay so much attention, losing some of his crossbows to TC there. Let's see how this happens. No ships here again, and we do see a dock, but fishing ships from Stigz rather than any fire ships. 1 or 2 fire ships to deny this. Could be quite a key move. You gotta remember though, as soon as you dock a pond and you suspect your enemies on it, or you know your enemies on it, kill their fishing ships. It's a large part of their economy. And usually, if they haven't invested into even just 1 of their own fire ships, they're going to lose so much food economy just for the cost of 1 ship. Stigz looks like he still wants to go for the eagles. He does not really have the gold. He obviously has the gold in the bank, but he doesn't have the gold access here. He's taking gold outside. Soon to be gone. Kind of surprised at this game. Rather than something a bit cheaper to clean this up. He's not making army though. I'm confused. So we've seen Buniu has definitely managed to catch up. What's he been doing? He added 4 TC, he's been running them like crazy. Still the 1 dock. No ships from either player to try and disrupt the fishing. I think both players are probably missing the key here, which is to deny your opponent's fishing if you can, as well as take as much of it of your own. Not making enough fishing ships is always a bit of a problem. What's Buniu doing with the extra food? He's kind of throwing it into the eagles, so not always the best trade there. And Stigz has managed to sneak in some units here. The eagles are going to be getting a good few vill kills, losing a lot of crossbows there. But hopefully he sees these ships soon and denies them when there's still fish left to take. Man at arms from Buniu. 23 on food, that is fair enough, but I think it's not quite enough. We're going to see more from Stigz, I bet, much more. 26, I was wrong. I suspected Stigz to have maybe 30, 35. 29's actually okay. Cancel some eagles, click up to Imperial Age. Imperial Age power spike for mines is crazy. He has his own castle up as well. In fact, this is even reasonable to start trebbing this. It's maybe a little bit... You probably still could have got on the gold to have it here, as well as have the treb be in range of this castle to treb this. Buniu's going for the mammoth push though. Eagles can clean most of this. We don't have the longsword upgrade on the way. Where are we on the blacksmith upgrades on those? Only just the one armor. This can be cleaned up fully by the eagles. A couple of mangonels can also do the job. The man-at-arms are not exactly going to be stopping that. Stigz though, taking that gold and just going straight back in for some more raiding. Ah, the mangonel's here. Needs to bring that into his castle's range, otherwise he's going to suffer a bit of problems. They're trying to attack from a lot of different areas, but they're sort of not paying too much attention to attacking hard in one particular area, if you know what I mean. Stigz is doing a good cleanup in this economy here. He is definitely far ahead in the villagers. As soon as he clicks up, he's going to be quite far ahead in the technology as well. This actually doesn't look good on the face of it for Stigz. He is losing a huge portion of his base. If you look at his presence in the map, it's a little bit here, a little bit here. But at the same time, Buniu is actually just kind of cleaned out all around and losing his fish economy as well. Very little farmers actually working here. We have 6 villagers on food. And, well, none of them are currently taking food. So without man-at-arms to actually stop this longsword upgrade on the way, but no real units in his base to actually defend this, he's going to have a hard time actually stopping that. Imperial Age clicked up from Stigz. If it's not GG before then, I suspect that we're going to see GG called from Buniu as soon as Imperial Age hits for Stigz. Again, very little water play on a water map. I'm very surprised by this. Well, hybrid map rather. I like this alcove TC. Just one tile to get in. A few eagles should clean that up though. Some plumes. What are we looking for upgrades? We do have Bodkin armor, no padded archer armor. That's all fine. I'm still not sure how Buniu is going to try and recover this, but I think it might be a GG on Imp, so we'll see how that goes. Villager count wise, we did drop down to 81 from Godfather. Buniu's 53. It looks like he's might be able to recover, but the thing is, to get more villager numbers of his own, he really needs to do a couple of things, like get his farming economy back in order, which with eagles and plumes in his economy, it's not such an easy thing to do. Quick repair in this mangonel should be able to get a few more hits in the plumes. I don't know, if I was Buniu, I would feel like I've been hit quite hard. I'd feel like I'm getting into a winning position now though. As long as my castle's not that important, to be honest. In the long term, this gold is still being denied as soon as Stigz runs out. That's a big problem for him. And it looks like Stigz is running out of gold. I mean, looking at the stats, you think Stigz is in a winning position. 22 villager lead. Decent score lead. He's in Imperial Age. Buniu's not even clicked up. But Stigz has just run out of gold. Where can Stigz even get gold now on the map? Not there, not there. He needs to castle this. Sorry, treb this castle. Elite plumes, okay. He needs to treb this castle in order to get any gold access again. He's going to take some of Buniu's here, but Buniu is not really needing gold. Longswords are not that expensive. Speaking of which though, he has 6 gold left there, so might be a good idea for him to try and get some. Looks like Stigz is just going in for the kill. He's going to build a fort castle maybe? Or is he just going to gold? Going to gold, okay. Still some raiding from Buniu back here. I think Stigz is maybe in too many places on the map at once. Not every player has got like micro and can just randomly, you know, go to any place they're being attacked. If they garrison a TC to avoid, they'll have to, you know, sometimes wait a minute before they can look back and double check it's safe. Or deal with this by attacking it with villagers. Luckily, they weren't on stand ground, so they just got dealt with the TC by themselves. 67 villagers to A6, we're actually closing in a little bit. We did get Elite Plumed Archer, but we don't have Bracer. We don't have Bracer on the way. No Chemistry. It's a very, very small upgrade. Even the Eagles are still, even just with Feudal Age upgrade, they didn't get Castle Age upgrades. I think not upgrading these Eagles is a really big thing, actually. With the amount of damage he's been doing and the amount of clearing and the raiding, if he did have the Castle Age upgrades to these Eagles, I actually reckon Stigz would have been well into a win by now. So I am a little bit surprised at that, to see they've not had the upgrades. So yeah, I think Stigz probably went Impure when there's not really any reason to. There is some reason to, which is to trap down this castle to get his gold back, but he's not been taking up on that reason, so it sort of begs the question, why did he go Imp? Siege Rams are actually quite cheap. I mean, 75 gold is cheap for Siege, it's not cheap in general. It's quite expensive as far as the unit goes. But, you know, with the gold supply, it's probably going to pay off for him in the long run. He's building a market. Did he lose his one here? Maybe. Yes, Castle Age Eagle Warriors. Can't afford to upgrade them to Elite Eagle Warrior. He needs to sell quite a bit of wood there to be able to get the gold to click that upgrade. It's a good upgrade, but I don't think it's going to pay off anytime soon. Plume seems to be the way that Stigz wants to go. A couple of plumes here, a couple of plumes here. In fact, he could just put plumes around the entirety of this base. They're going to be quite hard once he gets Bracer to kill with the Mangonels and deny Buniu of so many resources. Buniu himself is going for the mining camp here. He doesn't have the stone though. It's not worth buying stone right now, but if he did, this would be a really nice place to TC. In fact, it probably would be worth buying the... There we go. It'd be worth buying the stone to TC that. Just so you then have the gold. Oh, and he cancels the TC because of one eagle and puts it in a worse position. Surprising. Neither player seems to want to cement out this game. I think it's because Stigz isn't making trips to clean out the right things or getting the Imperial Age upgrades that he really needs. But I also think that Buniu is... I actually think Buniu is trying quite hard. He's still in Castle Age, was at quite a big disadvantage. He's actually managed to catch up somewhat. And it looks like he's pushing really hard in the Castle Age, which I think is the right move. Fireship. Nice. He's going to be able to do something about the fishing over here, but neither player is making fish traps, so it makes no difference. And also, Stigz scouting of this pond means his ships aren't going to get some of the further fish. Long swords here from Buniu. Going to be cleaning up a good few villagers, and it looks like Buniu is going to be taking the villager lead. Oh, my dear Stigz. Full Castle Age was definitely the play here for both players, and one player went for it. And it's definitely paying off. Now this is kind of what I was saying earlier, this would be a really good place to park some archers. I don't think Stigz has ballistics. No, he does not. Missing a couple of big upgrades here. He can definitely afford it, just the universe A, sell a couple hundred wood for the catch up on the gold. Shouldn't be a problem. Buniu doesn't have ballistics either, he doesn't need it, he's going long swords. Oh, now he's adding some more crossbows without huge amounts of gold. This is interesting. I guess maybe he is spotting that they're kind of lacking upgrades, no armor upgrades here, and only the feudal upgrades on the Eagles, I believe, still. Yes, that's correct. Well, one feudal upgrade. This is a nice move from Buniu, repairing this. The plumes coming in, garrison that, kill half the plumes. Lose a lot of the military advantage that Stigz has. It's a bit of a mixed game, to be honest, but I honestly think that Buniu has the gold here, and that can win him win the game in the long term. We do see some fish traps. Buniu's going to lose the dog. Stigz will lose that if Buniu notices. Panic markets by every player everywhere. What's going on? Slows back down again. Feels like we're in much the same position. Looks like Buniu's actually pushing further ahead. He's TCing the golds like crazy. What can Stigz do to stop this? He has 33 on food. He might lose the fish traps though. Still enough food for him to realistically get Siege Ram. Again, no trap for this castle. A trap for this castle would have gotten the gold a long time ago. And denying the gold is the reason I'm saying Buniu is still in the game. And Buniu could even win this game at this point. Denying that castle would have definitely made Stigz win this game. We're an hour in, one player still Castle Age, and he appears to be winning. And again, only one Imperial Age upgrade from Stigz. And he's been Imperial Age for quite a while now. I have to speed through this because my throat is drying up. This game is taking too long. These players are not cementing the game. But that's purely because Buniu's at such a disadvantage. He is fighting hard and he's playing very well. Stigz looks like he got an upgrade. Oh. It's Castle Age, but still it counts. I think he wants to try and recover this by just going Siege Rams. He can almost afford it and he's not really spending the food. In terms of relics, no player seems to have really gone for them. No monastery from either player. Where are they anyway? It's one here, basically both in Buniu's grasp. One here, kind of. Buniu has the map control, he can easily get that. One out in the water, which can't be gotten. The one here, quite firmly in the hands of Stigz. Oh, Buniu lost his blacksmith. That was probably in range of the castle. I wasn't paying too much attention for that. Longswords here should be able to clean up. The plumes just don't have the upgrades. Of course, Elite Plume has 2 bonus damage against infantry. But obviously, Bracer and Chemistry would also give him, you know, that same advantage again. This is getting cleaned up by Longswords, and some more Longswords should be able to finish that off. Some Skirmishers should also help him against the plumes, of which there is no gold for Stigz to make. He does still have access to this gold. Oh, he's trying to build a castle, but there's some villagers in the way. Oh, but then... Oh, no. This is when you grab all the villagers and you build a panic tower. Not later, but this is when. There's not really anything here that Buniu can do to stop this going up. Of course, he's still in... Well, we can actually go to Imperial Age himself with 2k in the bank. But I think he probably should consider backing off of this one, building a tower here just out of the range. That way he can ensure he denies the gold, despite losing it. Clicks up. Okay. Will this be GG on Imp for Stigz? Let's speed this up just a little bit. Obviously Buniu now has a full boomed economy, lots of villagers on gold and a lot of gold in the bank, and he's only making trash for now. He only has to. There we go. Wow, I can't believe this game is this long. But I'm kind of glad I'm casting it so I can fast forward through it rather than have Sneaky Chiefy wait 10 weeks to play it at normal speed. Starting to see Buniu pushing quite hard. Obviously, as his skirmishers now his Bracer, he's upgrades ahead of Stigz. And we see the GG called. He just pushed through here with the units that he had. And he did make a trap. Is that trapped? I can't tell. But that trap can easily kill either of the castles. Stigz losing his goal, never really taking control of it again, was quite big. I think he would have won the game if he made a trap and took out this castle and took control of it. Just one trap would have probably changed the game. Also, some upgrades on those eagles could have also been the game changer. But staying Feudal Age, just the Feudal Age armor is the only upgrade for such a long time. It's pretty brutal. This was kind of well played from both players. I know I might have seemed a bit critical of Stigz, but he did ask me to point out the areas where I think he's probably, you know, he could have done something a little bit differently and won. I think the Civ pick right away is a bit of a mistake though. I think mine's just is not a great Scandi Civ. They're great on open maps. This map is actually not that open. Semi-open they could actually be okay. Well, semi-closed rather, where it could be really easy to wall and plumes could be okay. But when there's just water, and you rely on water, you really want to sit with a decent bonus for it. Again, unless you're Mongols. look at the statistics, because we just watched someone get turned into one. Not as many kills as you would expect for a game of this size, 1 hour and 12 minutes. Lots of turtling, lots of staying around the 50-60 eco mark. But in the end, Buniu exploded. 47-minute Imperial Age seemed fast compared to an hour and 10. Reasonable castle age time. Stigz got stuck in Feudal Age for quite a long time. He didn't really have any villagers on food. He wanted to go for the double range archers. It felt a little bit weird. Archers are just not that good. When you have a lot of food, you could up really quick. You could make knights. You could do whatever to counter them. So if going Feudal Age archers is quite a heavy investment that keeps you in feudal for a bit longer. Stigz with a better economy in the end. But obviously Buniu will be catching up with the more villagers. GG, well played.